And I said, oh my. Hello fellow book nerds, this is Gabby and today I am recommending you books based on Red, Taylor's version. So if you don't know or you're new on my channel, you might not realize, but I've done a similar video a couple months ago where I recommended books based on Taylor's Evermore album. So I just kind of like paired a book and a song. This could be because of vibes, this could be because of lyrics, this could be because it just made me think of it, I don't know. So that's what we did, and now I am back. Taylor has once again come out with an amazing album. This is Red, Taylor's version. So we're gonna take a couple of songs because I'm not recommending you 30 books. So we're gonna take 11 songs instead and we're gonna recommend books based on it. I swear to God, I bought this hat when I was 16 years old, which now I guess would be like 9 years ago. I've not worn it outside even once, but I brought it all the way to England, all the way through university, and here we are. Oh my God, this is so annoying. I feel like this is the kind of aesthetic Taylor in her Red era just oozed out, you know? The red lipstick, the black shirt, the hat. We've got it all. I've been a big Taylor fan for quite a while because actually when I first started listening to her properly, like without just listening to a song or two, but like properly listening to every album and every song on every album, because I never do this. Like I just listen to a song and I'm like, yeah, the art is good, but I never like go and listen to the whole bloody discography. I do that with Taylor. First album that I really listened, I bought it, I put it on, I listened to all of it through and through and through and through, was Red. So that was 2012, which is what, 9 years ago? Yeah, so I remember buying the Red album, putting it on, playing Sims through Skype with my best friend and listening to the album over and over and over and over to the point I'm pretty sure she wanted to murder me. But like, Taylor, you know what I mean? So I was very excited for this release and we've got some gems and I'm addicted, I'm obsessed. I wanted to talk about it the only way I can, which is through books. So we're just gonna kick it off. So the first song is of course Red. We gotta talk about Red. And the book I am pairing with Red is All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Lynn Herman. I really hope this is clean. So I've read this book very recently, but in this book we follow a town where there's a curse placed on 7 main families, and every 20 years they have to fight to the death for the right to use high magic. The reason I'm pairing this is just so much. So there is a couple that's kind of rivals to lovers. So 2 of the contestants for the Deadly Tournament fall in love, or maybe like, well, it's the first book, they've not properly fallen in love, but I can see it. So so the 2 of them, I just feel like the lyrics really talk about them, you know? The relationship's doomed from the beginning because there's only one person who can survive it. So the song says, loving him is like driving a new Maserati down a dead-end street, faster than the wind, passionate as sin, ending so suddenly. Loving him is like trying to change your mind once you're flying through the free fall. They fall for each other in like 1 week before even knowing each other beforehand. They know it's doomed from the beginning. So, you know, it has a very abrupt ending, just like the romance. And she says, fighting with him was like trying to solve a crossword and realizing there's no right answer. The couple in this says crosswords together. I know it sounds lame, but they're evil. And then it says, remembering him comes in flashbacks and echoes. Hello, there's this spell where you touch a person and it's like leaves your imprint of your kiss and you can see into their mind, but it's more like flashes of what they were thinking and their memories. Hello. And this bad boy fits the aesthetic. Need I say anything more? Red, All of Us Villains. Read it actually, it's pretty good. I quite enjoyed it and it's a brand new release from my favorite author, so Okay, so I really wanted to do 22, but there wasn't really a book I could think of for the lyrics, because it's pretty like straightforward. I'm 22, I'm having a good time. So I thought, why not talk about a book I read when I was 22? So I was 22 in 2019. I know it's not precise science, but I just looked at all the books I read in 2019 and chose my favorite book from 2019. And I read this book in October, and my birthday is in June, so I was definitely 22 reading this book. And this is 10,000 Doors of January by Alix E. Harrow. So this book, we follow a girl who finds magical doorways. It's a portal fantasy. It's wonderful, brilliant. I love this book so much. It talks about belonging, family, adventure, finding yourself. It's just a lot of good times. So I would really recommend this book. Being 22 was a good time. That was when I started my channel as well, so we've been here a while. If you wanted to get me to 1K before you're free, feel free. Okay, the next song is Treacherous, and for this I am recommending the whole series of Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This is a goodie but an oldie. So this book is about a girl named Karoo whose family is a bunch of monsters. So they're what's called chimeras, so they're like bunch amalgamations of different animals, and she never had any other family. That's all the family she knows, but she's human, and one day she gets approached by this angel and she loses the way to talk to her family. It's about her finding the way back to the family. Without getting into spoilers and explaining too much, but if you read the book, I feel like you know what I'm going with this. The main two love interests are from two opposing worlds. Their people hate each other. There's only ever been murder and treachery and pain, and they're always killing each other. That's literally the purpose for both of them, just kill each other, and these assholes fall in love, and it's beautiful. Like the song says, put your lips close to mine, as long as they don't touch, out of focus, eye to eye, till the gravity's too much. And I'll do anything you say if you say it with your hands, and I'd be smart to walk away by your quicksand. Bro, the first night these people meet, they bone. So if that's not talking with your hands, I don't know what is. And they're like, oh, out of eye, out of focus, because it's all secret and hush. And they're saying, this slope is treacherous. This slope is treacherous. This pine there. Oh my god, why is this so hard? How do fingers do this? This slope is treacherous. This path is reckless. This slope is treacherous. And I like it. These two know what they're doing. And there's a lyric. All we are is skin and bone. Shadow and bone. Skin and bone. It was just right there. I had to do it. Next song is I Knew You Were Trouble. So for this, I'm saying Punk 57 by Penelope. Oh my god. Hold on. Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. Punk 57, we have a bully romance, so there you go. I told you everything you need to know. Boy is a bad boy. He's mean. She knows he's bad, but they still hook up and they still can't stop thinking about each other. And she knows he's trouble and she's still going for it. And he knows she's trouble for him, but he goes for it anyway. So bully romance, we got it. It's sorted. I just wrote because she knew he was trouble. So the next song is Stay, Stay, Stay. And for that, I would pair it up with The Midnight Bargain by C.L. Polk. So in The Midnight Bargain, it's like alternative reality, high fantasy, but like Edwardian England. So it's all propriety, arranged marriages, and there's this thing called bargaining season where everyone comes to the capital city, and all the eligible bachelors and bachelorettes get together and, start making arrangements. However, the main character does not want to get married because in this world, once a woman gets married, her access to magic gets cut off and there's no work around that, but her family's in financial trouble. So she's like, should I keep my magic? Should I get married? I'm gonna keep my magic, but I mean, I need to make money somehow. And of course, then she meets a boy, and he's very rich, and he kind of convinces her, you know, that maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing to get married. So I just wrote, the guy is a simp, and she was adamant she would not marry a man before. And in the song, Taylor says, all my men before you were crap. The men were crap, but there were no men, so that kind of makes sense. Oh, that's another reason. So I felt like the woman was a bit more drama in this relationship, and the man was pretty stoic, because it says, I'm pretty sure we almost broke up last night. I threw my phone across the room. Don't throw stuff at other people. At you. I was expecting some dramatic turn away, but you stay. And that's what the main love interest does. He stays, but his lady, when she's like, I can't marry you, and he's like, you know, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. You go do you, boo. You go do you. And we love it. And you took the time to memorize me, my fears, my hopes, my dreams. That's literally him. He's just so thoughtful and adorable, and it is what it is. Next song is Sad, Beautiful, Tragic. And for that, I'm choosing the whole series. I didn't read the fourth book, but the whole series of The Ember in the Ashes of The Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. So this is a quartet, and it's a high fantasy, and we follow our main character whose grandpa and grandma get murdered, and her brother gets captured and taken to the prison for being a rebel, and she ends up going to this martial school for super deadly warriors in order to join the rebellion and save her brother. And then we have the other main character, who is a son of the principal, I don't know, the person in charge of the warrior school, and he's a warrior himself. If this book series is not sad, beautiful, tragic, I don't know what is. Like I said, I've not read the last book, so do not spoil me, but that ish is sad as hell. Every time they're almost together, they're not. Every time I think something good's gonna happen, it doesn't. Every time I read a book, I feel like, you know what, life's not even worth it, everything's crap, so like, why bother? It's not a fun time. And if you read like book 2 and 3, I feel like this will make more sense to you. But in dreams, I meet you in a warm conversation, and we both wake in lonely beds, different cities, and time is taking its sweet time erasing you, and you've got your demons. What a sad, beautiful, tragic love affair. Book 3, anyone? Have you read book 3? Because in dreams, I meet you in warm conversations, and we both wake up in lonely beds. Okay, this one's a bit tenuous, but for the lucky one, I have chosen 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lynn. So this book we follow, it's a retelling of the 6 Swans? It's a retelling of a Brothers Grimm fairy tale, I believe, and we follow our main character, who's the daughter of the Empress, and one day she gets cursed by her stepmother, and her brothers get turned into cranes, and she gets this ball on her head, and she can't talk to anyone, because if she makes a sound, her brothers die. So the reason I feel like the lucky one fits is because this is getting to spoiler territory, so I'm just gonna titter on it. But the relationship between her and her stepmother is kind of that generational divide between women in time, but also kind of going through the same shit. And I just really love this book. Actually, it was such a great, like, if you love beautiful writing, if you like Taylor Swift music, you probably love beautiful writing. So this book, beautiful writing, and it was just heartbreaking. It was kind of like how we don't appreciate how people who are now in positions, like, they're all there and they're in a position where we don't think we could ever be there, how they kind of started off like us, how they kind of ended up like us, and we all can kind of end up there. And the perception of who's lucky, it really depends where you're sitting. So 6 Crimson Cranes, I love it. And the lucky one is such like a favorite of mine. I really love that song. It's apropos that the book is also a fave. So the next song is Nothing New, and for this I wanted to pair it up with Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. So in this book we follow a young girl, I think she's about 16 or 17, who dreams of becoming a singer and a star. So when she gets approached by this very famous rapper who is saying that he'll help her train and release a record, and he is like 10 years older at least, she jumps on the occasion and she thinks it's amazing, but it really is a story about abuse and grooming and how men take advantage of young women. I thought about pairing it with maybe All Too Well. I feel like it kind of fits with this because of the main character's kind of state of mind throughout the book and how she saw things, and kind of like how this also kind of reminds me of that. So it says, how can a person know everything at 18 but nothing at 22? So the main character, that was not quite that jump, but when she, when she was like 16, beginning of the book, she thought she knew it, or maybe she was 17. She thought she knew everything, and she thought her parents were silly, and she thought she had this all figured out. And then once she got through some shit and grew up to be 18 and reflected and got away from the situation, it was kind of like, wow, that was not okay. And now she was very lost and tired and scared and traumatized. So I feel like that's pretty accurate. And then we have, how long will it be cute, all this crying in my room, when you can't blame it on my youth? Enroll your eyes with affection, and my cheeks are growing tired from turning red and faking smiles. Okay, so this is like two things, but like about the youth. So like predators, when I'm no longer young, am I gonna be cute to you still? And so that really fits. And then like turning red and faking smiles. So she definitely is in a very abusive situation for a while, and she has to kind of put up with it and pretend everything's okay. And again, it says the kind of ratings you only have at 17. She was 17 at the beginning of the book. And then it says, will you still want me? Will you still want me? Will you still want me when I'm nothing new? And I think that's another thing with these predators. Like, you're cute now, but it's always a new, younger thing. And we also find out throughout the book, and she's not the only one that this was done to. So it kind of shows how it's perpetuated time and time and time again, and how she's not protected. Heartbreaking book, really sad book. I think the song is very sad as well, so apropos. Now we're gonna lighten the mood a little bit with Message in a Bottle. So for this, I am recommending My Contrary Mary. So I think this is like book one in a companion series to like the Jane series. So this is a very funny book series written by, but it's all like companions, so you didn't have to read all of them, but it's written by like 4 authors or something, and it's kind of like a new take on historical figures. So the Jane series, it took like a famous Jane from the history and kind of rewrote the story, but it's set in this high fantasy world where, or maybe like our history but with magic, and you get these people that can turn into animals, who are kind of like a metaphor. I think they're the Protestants, and I think then the people that can't are like the Christians, the Catholics, I think, but don't take me on my word, that's not important. But anyway, this book is the retelling of the Queen Mary of Scots. It kind of starts when she is engaged to Prince Francis, who is a prince of France, and they were gonna get married. And yeah, it's like a retelling of the history. It's not accurate, but it's not supposed to be. It's fun, lighthearted, but I just thought it like it was kind of accurate because, Francis in the book is in love with Mary, and he's known it for a while, and he's super excited about them getting married, and he like wants this to be a real marriage, whereas Mary sees him as a brother because that's how they grew up, and she just never really saw him any different way, and he like simps after her, and he's in love. It feels like he wants her to find out through telepathy, not actual words. So I think it was just funny because it said, because you could be the one that I love, I could be the one you dream of. Message in a bottle is all I can do. Standing and here hoping it gets to you. So yeah, he's just like waiting for a miracle, waiting for something from the sky to explain how he feels. And it's like a message in a bottle, because like, how he gonna get to ya? And then it also says, it's kind of frightening, standing here waiting, and I became hypnotized by freckles and bright eyes, tongue-tied. And it kind of reminds me of him on the wedding day, just like mesmerized by Mary's beauty. It was such a cute romance. I loved it. Like, it's such a good, like a really good series if you need something lighthearted and to make you happy after all of those bloody sad songs from Taylor Swift. So the next one is I Bet You Think About Me, and it's Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. So in this book we follow a girl called Vanya, who is the daughter of, well, stepdaughter or adopted daughter of Death and Fortune, who are like minor gods in this universe, because she was abandoned when she was a child. And then when she was about 7 years old, she got sent to this castle to work as a maid. And that's where she meets Giselle, who's like the princess. And Giselle got everything, you know, beautiful, wonderful, glamorous life. And then Vanya is the little servant. And when she grows up, like kind of when we are now in the timeline, Vanya has taken over Giselle's identity, stole her pearls that can like make her look a certain way, and is been living as a princess for a year. And I just thought this song gave me vibes of like Vanya singing this to Giselle, because she's like, you grew up in a silver spoon gated community, glamorous, shiny, bright Beverly Hills. I was raised on a farm. No, it wasn't a mansion, just living room dancing and kitchen table bills. So it's like, you know, she was a poor maid, Giselle was a princess, but they were friends, but Giselle never like acknowledged or appreciated the struggles of not being a princess and being a servant. And then she's like, you know, the whole song is like, I bet you think about me, I bet I'm in your mind, I bet you learned your lesson now. And considering Vanya stole Giselle's life, yeah, I bet she thinks about her. The next song is The Very First Night. I don't know how much you're on TikTok. And I don't know if this is just me, because it was funny because I kept seeing the same, not the same TikTok, but the same sound. And then someone with that sound was like, lady, this sound only has this many uses. It's not popular on TikTok, you're just gay. And I was like, okay. So apparently this is very popular on Sapphic TikTok. But the thing is that this song, this is the lyrics. Because they don't know about the nights in the hotel, they weren't riding in the car when we both fell, didn't read the note on the Polaroid picture, they don't know how much I miss you. So that's the actual lyrics. But people are saying they didn't read the note on the Polaroid picture, they don't know how much I miss her is a better rhyme that's right there. So they're saying this song should be Sapphic. And I agree, because I keep getting that song on TikTok where it actually has the hair lyric, and it does sound better, and it's not out of nowhere. So, you know, each their own. She didn't want to make a queer baity song, so I appreciate that. But anyway, considering this book should be Sapphic, we're gonna talk about my favorite Sapphic book I read this year, and it's The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. So in this book we follow a maid and we follow a princess. So the princess is exiled, and she ends up being exiled to this like temple, but it's like an abandoned temple, and she has to live there by herself and can't have visitors, whatever. So she just can have like the maids come in, and she's with this one terrible caretaker, and then the other main character is a maid, and she's helping out, and she's cleaning in this princess's house, and there's a cute romance. I mean, they met at night, so I thought it was like kind of accurate. It doesn't fit the lyrics that well, but I just loved this romance, and I thought it was so well written, and it was like my favorite Sapphic book of the year. So I thought we'd celebrate and have a Sapphic one. Okay, the last song I wanted to talk about is All Too Well 10-minute version, of course. And I think a book that pairs well with that is Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. It's long, but the time does not matter because it goes by so quick, and it's just pain. If that ain't the song, I don't know what is. There's no like lyrics that I want to associate. The story is very different, but it's just like, this book is so thick, but it's so good, and you don't feel it. Like, I'll sit there listening to All Too Well for 10 minutes, and I thought 1 minute has passed, and I'm like, wait a damn second. How am I already done? How have I listened to the song 55 times already? That means I listened to an hour. No, that makes no sense. In this book, it's like that, and it's just pain and pain and pain and pain, and they don't care about your feelings because they want him to hurt. So in this book we follow Misaki, who used to be a warrior, but since she got married, like arranged marriage to this guy, she had to put down her warrior mantle and become a housewife. And it's about her and her sons and her husband, and I know that doesn't sell it, but when I tell you it's about loyalty, it's about family, it's about duty, it's about what's right, it's about pain and pain and pain, and you will cry. If you don't cry, you ain't human. I love this book. It's a standalone. Apparently it's like a companion I think, or a prequel to a series I didn't read, but you really don't have to. This is a great standalone. You'll probably understand everything you need to understand, and you'll be in pain, so you're welcome. Wow, okay, we are done. Those were the 11 books I wanted to recommend. I'm sorry there isn't 30. It was really hard. Like, I don't read that much romance, so it was a bit... Or, like, I read fantasy books with a romance, but they don't have this many intricate plots. They usually meet, fall in love, and that's it. I need to read some more things with spice. I am so excited for her new album, whatever that comes out. I'm really, really, really excited to see what's next. I think 1989, I'm gonna lose my mind. If I thought I liked Red, 1989. I hope you're also having a great time with Taylor Swift, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of my picks. If you're curious to see my Evermore video, I'm going to link it up above so that you can check it out. But overall, I would really, really appreciate hearing what you thought. Were my picks accurate? I don't know. I feel like when I recommended Evermore books, I've listened to that for like a month, and then I recommended stuff, and here I was like, we gotta do this quick because I'm inspired right now. So I don't know, we'll see. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you could like, comment, subscribe. Yes, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, I'd really, really appreciate it. It really helps me out. We're like a little bit over a month away from 2022, and my absolute dream come true would be if I could hit 1K. I don't think it's gonna happen, but yeah, even 900 would be nice. But thank you so much for it, like 840 something. Thank you so much. It's so kind. Thank you for sticking with me, and we've had so many great times since that last Taylor Swift video. So I can just imagine how many more great times we'll have till the next one. But I'm definitely recommending books for 1989. I am ready. Bye.